Peace to the family. It's your brother, Polight, pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallant, honesty, and trust. And I'm out here to build. We're not out here to destroy, but we have to come to terms in this day and time with all these murders of our people been murdered day to day. It's just who they choose to publicize, what they choose to publicize. This is my Rolls Royce Diaries. Lambo Poe will be back this weekend. I'm in the Rolls Royce Diaries. That's my flow. But I want to talk to our people about religious doctrine, more especially in the case the Israelite Doctrine, right? You know me, I'm too smart to be broke. We're not playing that. I got the stars out even in the daytime. You see that? Even in the daytime, the stars is out. But yeah, you know, this is all about growth. So no matter how much I disagree with my brother, no matter how ignorant my brother Captain Tazaryach could be, he got to get this smoke. He got to get this smoke. So, you know, he's out here with me. I'm actually copping my newest wife a real dope spot right now, buying her a home. I just came from copping my other wife a home. That's what I'm doing today. You know, she still lives in the mansion with us, but at the same rate, I just got her a spot because we're about to do this reality TV show. But anyway, enough of me. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about us. Rolls Royce Diaries. Today's schedule, event. Look at this. You know, I love my life, but the doors are suicide. Look at this cat right here. Look at Tazaryach. Don't he look weird in Beverly Hills? What's this brother doing out here? What the is Tazaryach doing out here? Do you know how I do? We're about to chop it up and have a discussion about the significance of the Israelite Doctrine during these days, these trials and these trips. Y'all see how that go? That's suicide. Suicide doors. Y'all know how that go. Y'all know how that go. Sheesh. Y'all know how that go. Yeah, this is sexy. You know, this is very sexy. You know, when I put my wives up there, I be having to fill up this whole damn car. This one I'm on my grown man shit. This is what you call a wraith. Man, god damn. That's what you call a wraith.
Let's see how it go. And
let's see. He talking that fuck shit already. You know, I'm just waiting for him. He gonna clean it up real nice when we done.
I'm gonna clean up.
He gonna clean it up real nice. Hey, this is what the real deal is, though.
Right. What's the real deal?
The real deal is, I know we both would agree that we're in a state of emergency as a black community,
That's
right?
correct. Oh, no, I do agree with that shit. We're in a state of emergency with the black community.
So we both agree on that. So now the ultimate thing is, and I know we see people being, we seeing deaths being publicized,
right?
But we are conscious enough to know whether they put it on the media or not. That much more is going on day to day. It's who they choose to publicize their deaths. So I get that part too. The question we have at hand is,
what's the question?
Who has the solutions? We see the NBA players falling back, right? Or at least for 24 hours.
Right, I think
48 maybe.
Yeah, 48, because I think they clipped the games for today too.
Yeah.
But they're going to resume on the weekend. So
there
for 2 days, they show some solidarity.
And
I think that should be applauded. The rich, because for the rich to really start to sacrifice, the stench of death of black people is really getting high.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I agree
Because
with you.
if you think about like 6-7 years ago, it's like the killings ain't changed. So like 6-7 years ago, we still was getting killed, but it didn't bother the rich.
Watch this. We talking about these sports existed during the 60s and the 70s and 80s.
Right.
And we never seen players say we're falling back.
Right.
We only seen it once in history for an exhibition because the team that the basketball team that was playing, they went to a restaurant and they denied them service because they was black.
Okay.
So they didn't play in their exhibition game. That's
Right.
as close to this we've ever seen.
Right.
So with way more money on the line, you know we are in some serious times.
Word is bond. And if I could, a lot of people gave Kaepernick flack. He was like trying to be one of the ones, but ain't nobody fuck with him really. Not when I say fuck with him, like publicly. Where if you think about it, if they would have addressed what he was talking about back then, it still would be killings. But at least maybe they would have brought more awareness and could have did more about it. Like
and then for me, I say this is a testament to the NBA. Whether you like it or not, I'm not going to say they're pro-black. But what I will say about the NBA is that they playing it way more smarter. They got a smarter administration.
They do.
Because
they don't get as much flack. Like the NFL, them some good old boys.
Yeah, you already know.
They wasn't fucking with that flag shit, none of that shit.
I look at it, the NBA is allowing the brothers to do so much that is making the brothers compliant with them and build with them because they've created that kind of relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If the police did that, we wouldn't have all this drama right now. They open up lines of communication, you know? At the end of the day, the beast is the beast.
That's what I was about to say. They still gonna kill niggas.
The beast is.
They showed the fly the same way they got them things like how long we gonna get killed. They showed some civil rights marches and stuff like that with the same sign.
Yeah.
So it ain't really nothing changed. It's just the camera now brings it more to the forefront.
You know, I ain't gonna front to you. I'm gonna do a video. I actually now believe in crisis actors. It's just a belief. Right?
Who?
Crisis.
Oh, okay.
I believe
crisis
in crisis actors,
right.
and I'm gonna tell you why I believe in crisis actors. I know there one of two things are going on, and I believe both of them are going on. I never want to undermine the death of a brother or a sister, right, in the movement. So I'm not going to tell you that black man didn't really exist.
Right.
George Floyd was not a real black man that exists.
Right.
That I'm not going to do because I'm gonna have empathy for the families that may actually do exist. Right. But what I'm going to tell you is at this particular point in time, one or two things are going on, or both. One, I do feel like there's some crisis actors, even if it's not the people that's actually being killed.
Right.
But the people that's in the media.
Right.
I think some of these things, what the media is sharing, I feel some of these people are planted in order to inflame an already bad situation. And then on another scale, I feel like the murders are on purpose at this particular point in time. I just can't see how we come off of George Floyd and the hoopla that it has created, and then you shoot someone 7 times in their back with their children. That's like the worst thing that can happen after George Floyd.
Right.
To the point where I'm like,
you already had a knee on his neck for like 25,000 minutes, and then now you shooting him in front of his family.
And you're not supposed to shoot anyone from the back. If you're law enforcement, those slugs are never supposed to hit you in the back if you're law enforcement. That's just a rule.
That's like one of the reasons. Like,
never shoot someone in the back.
I don't disagree with nothing that you're saying. Now, I expounded a little bit. This is why we call a white man the devil, because when we say devil, of course, it just means deceiver. We're not putting the wings and all of that bullshit on it like a lot of people. You
had me scared for a little.
You think of a pitchfork, some red nigga, something like that. You know what I mean? We ain't talking like that. We talking about the number one deceiver on the face of the planet. So whether it's this COVID-19, whether it's all these murderers and stuff that's happening, George Floyd, we would think, because we're compassionate men. Like, I ain't talking about what we go to war in.
I got you.
But as human beings, blacks are the most compassionate people on the planet. That's why we always forgive
real quick,
our enemies.
Side note to that, I totally agree with him, because I was saying, as part of what I'm going to demonstrate in my upcoming video, is not only do I feel like we're being murdered on purpose, not only do I feel like they have crisis actors planted to inflame an already bad situation, I feel like they're not getting the type of response they're looking for.
Nah.
And like I think they're like, yo, these motherfuckers won't rebel or lead an insurrection like we want them to, so we could turn it up. And I feel like they're looking at us like, yo, how much more fucking black people we gotta kill? Because I think they want to really do something with it, but they turn around and they say, yo, these black people won't fucking, they rap about killing all this, but they won't go in. So I feel like out of frustration, they keep turning it up a scale. And if they don't get the riots that they're looking for,
They create them themselves.
They got
That's
it.
why you
That's
look at a lot of them
now.
riots that was when you go back to the crisis shit. A lot of them riots that they was pinning on black people was white people doing the shit.
Yes,
it wasn't even us.
They done took over the whole movement.
Yeah, and it's sad. Now here's the flip side: is I'm saying we're compassionate.
Falling for this shit, man.
We ain't compassionate on each other though, but we for sure be compassionate with other nations. Like I think you said this. I've said this before, but I think you said this. Like if a brother comes to a city and talk shit, they might say you can't come to my city.
Yeah, no fly zone.
Right, no fly zone.
Word.
But nobody giving no fly zone to these devils that shooting us,
all the
you know,
time.
left
That's
and
a
right.
fact. That's a fact.
So we have the compassion, but it's misplaced.
Yes.
Whereas it should be for us to where if they shooting us, if these entertainers, I hope they get to the point where these entertainers say, I want to put provisions in place that focuses totally on uplifting black.
Yeah.
And be selfish about it.
That's right.
And exclude other nations. Like, right, if it's truly a state of emergency,
yes,
we should be the #1 priority in all things.
True story.
You know what I mean? So we
story.
should be so prioritized of where LeBron can't worry about every race. He just gonna worry about his people.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Everybody should be that. That's where the level got to go. And I'm hoping that it's sad that it take this much death to do it.
Yeah.
But maybe in all this murder, the only good thing could come out of it.
Yeah.
That we realize the only answer we got is us.
And I always say it's going to take a lot more bloodshed for unity to take place.
Yeah.
That's the only time our people really unite is when they under the fucking gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they start
tired.
questioning their own mortality, and when that shit starts coming closer to home in white communities, that's when everybody starts worrying. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not letting these white folks fool me for one fucking bit. I know they know this shit is getting so out of control, it has to seep into their community eventually.
Right.
So they like, yo, fuck it. We need to do some kind of protest.
That's why part of them is happy that COVID is here, because imagine if COVID wasn't here and everybody's already outside. You know what I mean? And so I just hope that they grow. For our perspective, man, get in there SBK, man, you'll wake the fuck up real fast.
And you see them shameless ass plugs. We was just vibing.
Yeah, man, I gotta throw that in there, man. So we about that brotherhood, that sisterhood.
We about
and
that
I know you rock
too.
with that, right?
I'm definitely rocking with Brotherhood. I'm definitely rocking with the Sisters United, right? But yo, all jokes aside, right?
Right.
I do know that you guys do great things for our people. Never take that from you, right? So the reality is people see members of my community doing great things, members of his community doing great things. So the question ultimately is, should God really be drawing the line of demarcation? Let me say it different. Should our beliefs really be the line of demarcation? Because the reality is we find that people in our community have the highest intentions and have been successful in different organizations and political groups in uplifting our people. And obviously we would be a lot more stronger if we established ourselves as a cohesive unit. If we sat here and said, yo, listen, I know you feel a million plus people coming out the sky to bang in the name of the Most High.
You always say that.
Because I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable, right? But separate from that, they do great things.
Right.
I won't undermine the great things that they do. I never do that either. Every time y'all see me and I'm around the brother Tazaryach or I'm not around him, before I castigate or chastise anybody, I always make it my duty to say, yo, the brothers do good things too.
Right.
Because it's not fair to do that to our people, to just disagree with them and then everything they do is wrong. I don't like when people do that. I don't like when they do it to me. So I always make sure I make a concerted effort to say, yo, I recognize the great that you guys do. So when I disagree, you know, I'm being honest. I'm not just being biased. You know, everything you fucking do is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that helps us come to terms with the fact that people could disagree but not necessarily be hating. Because some people disagree because they fucking hating. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's my vibe. But ultimately, what's it going to take for ISUPK to organize with other communities, not the devil, quote unquote, the white man?
Right, I know you talk about us.
You know,
like a comedic.
Yeah,
Islamic.
like people who make subscriptions to Africa. Because, you know, my brother here feel the Africans a curse. Right?
No, I don't say that.
Okay.
I don't say that.
Sorry, don't get caught up, bro.
I don't.
I'm actually helping you out here.
Africans is cursed.
Are they God's people?
No, they're not. They're
okay,
not God's
so
people. But that don't mean they cursed because they're not God's people.
I would rather be cursed than to be acknowledged as not God's people?
I mean, that's a choice. But you asked me if they curse.
How is not being God's people? Isn't that a curse if you're not God's people? Aren't you blessed? Aren't you blessed for being God's chosen?
Well, the Africans will be blessed when we're ruling over them. That's how we look at it.
Yo, let me face this way so the light is better.
Okay, no sweat. Yeah. So I'll come around.
Yeah, the lighting is better.
Yeah, no sweat.
Hey, what's up, man? Peace. That's crazy. Alright, yo.
Yeah, so like the way we look at it,
vibing with them yesterday with some brothers that do music and shit. But
okay.
That's crazy.
So like from a biblical perspective, the Bible say when the righteous are in authority.
Hey, it's 2,000 people here.
Yeah,
make sure you don't make no errors.
I ain't gonna make no errors. I don't never make no errors.
He already made an error going against the Africans, but go ahead.
I ain't going against them. What I'm saying is the Bible says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. So if we're under the authority of the Most High, we wouldn't be in this state. We wouldn't be getting murdered the way that we get murdered and stuff like that. We just choose to go against those laws. So like as you talk about the organizations, every organization can bring about some good.
That's right.
What we're trying to do is make that good stand forever. And for us, our good standing forever is standing under the laws that God gave us. Because that's a moral, that type of morality isn't mine or yours. So we're not deciding, hey, we think we should do this or we think we should do that. Our God already said, this is how you live, this is how you do everything, so we follow it this way, we'll be fine. So that's the difference.
So the question is, have you met an Israelite that was without folly? Or have you met an Israelite that was void of sin or void of error?
Before they became an Israelite or after?
While an Israelite. Have you met an Israelite that didn't make an error in judgment that everybody else makes?
In ISUPK or outside ISUPK?
In ISUPK. Is every ISUPK member exempt from making human errors despite their conviction and their subscriptions to the Most High, Yahweh ben Yahweh Shai, and all of that? You know what I'm saying? Salaki, you know, I cut him off.
No, okay, so like, depending on how long they've been in the truth, because like, it's not like the movie The Matrix, like we was talking on before. It's not The Matrix where you just swallow a pill and then you just magically become righteous or magically become evil. Just like you learn to be evil, you now have to learn to be good. So on your way to being good, you can have people.
Hold on. We got to learn to be good by joining the ISUPK?
No. You asked the question about is anybody in ISUPK full of
pretty much perfect.
Right.
Anyone in ISUPK
so
perfect. Let's do it like
when
that.
you come into the ISUPK, you're learning and working your way to be perfect. So a brother that might have been in it for 6 months, he still might have some cleaning to do.
Got you.
But somebody been in 10, 12 years, they could be perfect. Like Matthew 5:48, Christ said, "Be ye therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." So our perfection is not based on what we feel either. That's based biblically as well.
Totally understand.
Because what we feel is nothing is wrong. Like if we say we don't rock with no other nation outside of Israel.
Yeah.
So that would include like Japanese, white, African, etc.
Got you.
Somebody that have an affinity for them, or somebody that could be white, is gonna look like you fucked up for that.
Understood.
But for us, that's perfection.
I ain't worried about that. So what I'm saying is, and I thank you for the explanation. Yo, what I'll do too, if Taz will have us, I'll let you guys come in and ask either one of us some questions.
Yeah, y'all can ask some questions.
That'd be dope too.
I got a couple more minutes and shit. Yeah.
Word. So here's the thing. Whatever error you guys can find in someone else, clearly are the same errors that we can find within the confines of the ISUPK community. And if that be the case, then what's the big hype around having to be in y'all group under the Most High, if it's clear that even when I come under the tenets of the Most High through the leadership of General Yohana, and we have Captain Tazaryach and all the other good brothers that he's trained, what's the end game? What do we gain by being with y'all as opposed to having a good heart and saying, hey, I work with you brothers and let's get something in? As an African and as a lover of African people, as a person who identifies as being African as well, because you guys don't deal with DNA tests. These guys are tricky. They don't deal with DNA tests. You know, and I got something for his ass for that real quick, but I ain't gonna do it right now.
Right.
What we just want to know right now is nobody in the ISUPK, unless you tell me otherwise, has achieved perfection, even if it's their goal, and perfection based on y'all definition.
Right.
You know,
based on the Bible.
Based on the Bible, even better, right? So if that's the case, my brother, what's the harm in working with people who confide in the same goal that you have to liberate your people? If I say I'm an African, or another brother says he's an African, and it's like, yo, we are fighting on behalf of the so-called African American, why wouldn't you work with the African?
Like, okay, see, like, say somebody like yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
Your father's Panamanian, right? Right?
Grandfather. Grandfather. He's always cold with this BS. Go ahead, man.
No, I want to use it as an example.
No
right?
problem. So
I won't use you.
No,
Okay.
Go ahead. You can do that.
So let's take a brother that follows any African spirituality.
Grandfather Panamanian. Keep it going.
Any African spirituality that a brother follows, but he's an Israelite to us. He's just following that spirituality, right?
That's right.
I would never say I wouldn't work with him, because I'm not looking at him like a Hamite. I'm saying Hamite on purpose to give the biblical term, because you can have African citizenship. Yeah. But you can be born in Africa and have African citizenship. Like a Chinese man could be born in Africa, but he ain't African.
Totally.
So I'm saying Hamite so that people could know the difference.
I got you.
So an actual Hamite, I wouldn't work with under no conditions, because the Bible prohibits us from that.
The Bible prohibits you from working with an African based on the context. We both know what we mean by African. Go ahead.
But in the not commerce. Like my business, I gotta go when I
would hope not.
Yeah, when I go get my oils and shit like that, I'm dealing with Arabs,
whoever,
and stuff like that.
That's the way of the world. I dig it.
But if it's about uplifting my people, I can't do that with other nations, because they're gonna be concerned with their nation too.
But that's a folly, because when I did the debate with you and I spoke about your 501c3, right? That's not a knock to you for doing what you can to be more efficient. In your endeavors to uplift your people, but that is you working with the white man when you get the 501c3.
No,
because
that's no different.
Again,
that's
commerce.
A contradiction. But that's commerce you talk about, though. That's no different than I got a business account for my business, so I had to work, quote unquote, with the white man to get this business account, so that when I make all this money, it goes into that business account.
But here's the question.
So 501c3 is a business. It's not liberation.
I hear you,
you
right?
Know, they got Save the Whales as a 501c3.
But you just said you
Feed the Homeless is 501c3.
I totally understand, but they're not making the claims you make that you don't want to work with other nations,
but
foreign
we
nations,
don't.
Nations that the Bible works against. You're working with a foreign nation to uplift your people, unless you're not using the 501c3 to help your people.
Now, here's
the question. Are you using the 501c3 for your own personal gain and benefit, or are you using the 501c3 to help uplift your people? Because if you're using the 501c3 to help uplift your people, then despite what the Bible has suggested to you based on y'all interpretation, you are working with that whom you should not be working with.
You're lucky my phone overheat. Because remember, I said this has to be...
My shit heating up too.
This has to be biblical based. You're not. So if you go to the book of Nehemiah, it's the 3rd or 4th chapter. In there, you'll see how to uplift.
There ain't no 501c3 over there.
I'm about to... No, it is 501c3.
Tell them stop.
I'm about to tell you.
Tell them stop it.
You fucking with the wrong Israelite right now. So it is because...
Oh, shit. Yo, what the hell? If this was at nighttime, I would been thinking some spooky shit just happened. Y'all need the keys? How's everything? Y'all check it out? Yeah. Look good? Y'all sign something? Y'all don't like it no more? Word? That's trash. So you ain't checking nothing else? Everything else you don't like? Oh, okay. Yo, the door's open.
I ain't gonna keep you too much.
No, we good. But so that 501c3 was 501c3. I want to find that in the Bible. You said Nehemiah what?
Nehemiah, the 3rd or 4th chapter.
Oh shit.
Now when you read this, you're gonna see in the beginning of the chapter, you're gonna see how other nations wanted to come and work with them to build up Jerusalem and build up their people. They said, nah, we don't want your help. But when the king Nebuchadnezzar, who was ruling over them, he set provisions where they was able to get certain shit from the king because he was in charge that we only used for Israel. So under this captivity or this kingdom, we take advantage of that 501c3, never join no organization, still call a white man a devil, still don't go to nobody, got to go to court all the time to fight, but we only use it for our people. So that's just business. That's not coming together. Coming together would be if we came with them and said, okay, we're going to let y'all.
The question ain't coming together. The question that you said that the Bible prohibits you from working with certain nations to uplift your people. You'll do business.
Right. Okay. That's why I'm breaking it down further. I thought you understood. But
right
what
now,
you're doing is
we're in a conundrum right now because,
no, we're not.
Because both exist at the same time.
You're in a word game that I'm destroying right now. I'm destroying your word game because what he's trying to do is lump it all
illusions
together.
of grandeur.
So I got to break it down for you because I thought you would understand.
Watch this. I'm not confused about what's going on. Both things are going on at the same time. They're running concurrent. He's not only working with a foreign nation that the Bible prohibits, but he's also working with them to make money. But at the same rate, if I were to ask him, oh, so you only got the 501c3 so you could self-indulge and not uplift your people, then he would have to say, nah, we got the 501c3 to put us in a position to help our people.
In the Bible where I can't take advantage of what a kingdom has to help my people.
That's not my fault. I'm saying,
I'm telling you, it's biblical.
You told me you can't work with an African because the Bible prohibits it.
I started off by saying we can do commerce, we can do business. 501c3 is business.
But you also said if it's about uplifting your people, the Bible is telling you don't work with foreign nations if you're gonna uplift your people. Right?
But 501c3 is not about uplifting people. It's a blanket. It's a blanket classification.
I got you.
That churches.
Now, well, watch this. Why is the Bible telling you can't work with people that want to uplift your people? What kind of crazy shit is that?
I'm gonna answer.
Then please.
No problem.
Please do.
And I'm gonna use
because the 501c3, we know damn well we ain't gonna find that in that mic.
Today's time.
Yes, please.
To prove it.
Please do.
Since we've been in America, let's take the last 60 years with this whole civil rights and we all equal and shit like that. We've been trying to work with another nation to get our liberation. And as we're working with that other nation to get our liberation, everything that we have is destroyed. Our school system, our businesses. That's why we got to have support black business. Because our businesses are getting destroyed, our schools are destroyed, our housing is destroyed, our way of life is destroyed. But the person we're trying to work with to get liberated, they shit is excelling.
Okay.
Their way of life is excelled, their school is excelled, their military is excelled, everything is excelled.
Got you.
So imagine if we never joined them and stay separate. We would still have our schools. We would now. When I'm saying separate, I'm not talking about what you purchase, your commerce and shit like that. Your business.
I don't got a problem with you making your bread.
Right.
I ain't got no. I ain't against that.
501c3 is another option.
I'm not mad at that. I'm saying at some point or the other, though, you're doing that which was prohibited. But you know what? If you say this,
if you go to Nehemiah and read, you'll see.
If you say this a cliche, if you say under certain circumstances, if you say, well, your nigga gotta eat, P. If you even say that, I'd be like, well, I got you. The Bible, nigga gotta eat. I will move forward. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but if you're gonna take that advantage that you get from the 501c3 to empower your people,
we have to take advantage.
Y'all have cookouts and shit like that. Do y'all use any part of that 501c3?
No, actually no.
Do y'all use any part of 501c3 to fund any endeavors that help your people out?
No.
It's only for y'all exclusively.
Yeah. No. What? The cookout? Yeah, the cookout is for us. Yeah. Well, you have to be black, Hispanic, or Native.
But in order for you to accept donations or something from other people to do what you do, you do not. Don't you use the 501c3?
Well, that I would have to get clarity on because, like, in New York, I run New York, right?
Yes.
So in New York, we fund the cookout ourselves.
Totally.
Usually, we might start a GoFundMe page, and somebody want to donate in that fashion, and that goes.
And if you find out an African put some money in that GoFundMe, would you return his money?
Hell no.
Okay, that's good. So now what I'm saying is you can use that African's money to help you liberate your people or empower them.
If I could, I would take every stitch of money from every white, African, Chinese. Again, that's commerce.
Isn't that I don't mind commerce.
But how we look at inclusion,
you're going to use the money to help our people, though.
We're saying two different things. What you're looking at as help is not what I'm looking at as help.
Yes.
I'm looking at we're in captivity. Everything that we do comes from. Hey, Shalom, I see y'all on YouTube all the time.
Hey, knock it off, man. Knock it off, brother. Knock it off, man. Hey, I see you pulled up to help.
I don't even know the brother.
I see you pulled up to help him. Yeah, there's an Israelite in distress call. Hey, look at my man. What y'all got, an app out here when the Israelite is in despair and he's getting his shit chopped? I'm cutting the Israelite so bad.
Yo, that is funny, man. The brother just came out of nowhere while we doing the interview.
What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Talk to me. Talk to me. No, we having a good build.
Okay.
Now let me ask you something. Since you're from the tribe of Judah, did you take a DNA test?
I don't need to.
Say that again.
I don't need to.
Why you don't need? So who's told you from the tribe of Judah?
What do you mean?
My
last name is Smith.
Huh?
My last name is Smith.
That's what the tribe of Judah last names used to be?
That's a slave master's name.
Okay, so how do you know where you come from?
Because my family was in the Smith's chicken shack. I am a descendant of being slaves.
Oh,
My
okay.
ancestors were slaves.
But what that chicken shack got to do with you being of the tribe of Judah, brother? Come on.
What do you mean?
I mean exactly what I'm saying.
The curses of Deuteronomy.
Okay, listen.
That's what, the curses is the slavery.
You see what you started, Tazaryach? Now I gotta put a cut into him.
Thought that you actually.
He's an innocent bystander. I ain't want to be doing this to people of the
That
king.
stuff is garbage.
Yo, you can say all of that you want, right? But at the end of the day, yo, listen.
Y'all out here.
See, you did that.
Yo, listen. At the end of the day, we gotta find out. All right, let me ask you a question, brother.
Ask me a question.
If a black woman told you that's your baby, and you like, man, she be sleeping all over the place, that ain't my baby, would you take a DNA test to prove that's not your child?
Yeah, you mixing apples and watermelon.
Hey, I ain't mixed nothing yet. It's just a question. Would you take a DNA test? Are you against paternity tests?
In some cases, you need them.
In some cases, in this particular case, would you need one if a woman was lying on you saying that's your child and it's not your child? Would you take that test?
Today's system, yeah.
Thank you. So how come? I'm going, all right, because he know I'm about to get him. You know I'm about to get him.
I want to add on.
All right, so
I just want to add on top of him.
oh, pause. Go ahead.
Listen, a DNA test. I only got about maybe 5
Go ahead.
minutes.
This is
A
good.
DNA test for a child is 99.9% accurate. For ancestry, it's like maybe 60%, maybe 65%. The reason why we don't.
You talking crazy now.
I'm not.
You talking crazy.
I'm not. Listen, man, they had 3 triplet white women get the DNA test, and all 3 of their shits was different. So it's just not accurate enough to stand trial.
Man, look at these guys with the Magen Davids and in the fringes.
Yeah,
like,
what's
come
going
on,
on,
man.
What's
Yeah,
your name?
come on, man. I ain't move out here. I ain't move out to Beverly Hills to be around this type of stuff. Y'all gotta calm down.
Listen, man, I don't want to like where I gotta go is 2
What's your name,
hours
my brother?
away.
Harrell, peace to you, God.
Where I gotta go is 2 hours away. I want to.
Yo, this is getting real. This is getting real.
Polight was running for me. This was
Yo, you
supposed
see
to
what they
happen
did though? You see, they did the Israelite shuffle, and got up out of there and weaved their way out because they can take DNA tests. They peace to the family.
Peace. What's going on, man?
Peace. Thanks, man. No doubt. Well, we got the street sign.
I stay right around the corner. When I saw
he about to be your neighbor. Oh no,
Oh, my wife,
Nah, my man, you too. You're not in the. I ain't trying to judge you for like.
I ain't got a problem.
Hey, can I just
You
finish
got a
up with
right
him
to your
before-
opinion.
Before you go in, can I just
Yeah.
finish up with the brother?
You got a right to your
Appreciate it,
opinion, my good brother.
But yeah, so I think what we was
It's
talking
all
about,
love.
what we was talking about
I'ma listen
initially.
to y'all.
Yeah, no
that's
doubt.
fine. What we was talking about, it's a difference, like, and from a biblical perspective, what we do financially does not mean we're working with other people.
Understood.
It's only if we allow them to come into our organization, have position, we help their people, then we're at a compromise. What we need to do in 2020, what black people need to realize, you take Israelite out the equation, what black people need to realize, regardless of what, is that black people need to only deal with black people right now because we fucked up. Because we getting killed. We the ones dying. And if we keep mixing, it's gonna fail.
Yo.
If I could do a shameless plug before I go.
No shame.
Okay.
Make sure they know where to go to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. If y'all go on Etsy.com and search Tazaryach Creations, you can check out and get the flyest body butters and oils that you could get on the land. I only got 5 stars on all my products. So if you go to Etsy.com and just put in Tazaryach, you'll see the business that I got rocking. I'm gonna be back in 3 weeks. Polight was supposed to link up with me about 2 hours ago, man. Now I gotta go teach class, so I can't stay out here. Polight was scared.
His whole spirit gonna be just destructed,
Shit, I'm about to
destroyed.
go tear fire to Kimmon in class. Now, I'm fucking with you, man.
Peace
Good
to you,
seeing
my
you,
brother,
man.
man.
Good
Good seeing you, man.
All right.
Definitely get up with me, man.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely.
man. We done
But yo,
made it tight. All
but
right. How long you in town for?
but
I'll
you
leave
you
tomorrow
saw what they
morning, but I'll
did.
be back
Let me
in
show you what they
2 weeks.
did.
All right.
They don't deal with. They'll take a DNA test. They'll take a DNA test to see if their child is really their child, in the name of disagreeing with a black woman. But they won't take a DNA test to prove if they're the tribe of Judah or Benjamin and all that other stuff.
That's you.
But yeah.
All right, well, text me so I know it's you. So when I
Hey,
come
hit
back,
me
I'll
up,
let
man.
you know.
I didn't even realize we had 5 o'clock marker.
Yeah.
Peace,
Nah,
man.
man, it's gonna take 2 hours to get.
Yeah,
the
no, I
same
got to
to
bust a
Dina.
move
Oh, okay.
for 5 o'clock too.
You
gotta bust an eight.
Yeah.
man, you
What's
have
your
to
name again, my brother? Harrell. Thanks for
I
pulling
like to
up,
see you
man.
on this other side, man.
Man, we got to do
You
that.
gotta lose all that, man. Come
Yo,
over to the Israelite
hey,
side.
hey, man, send me a message, man.
You in the curses right now.
Hey, I'm in the curses right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you only believe in DNA if you're not the father. Okay. All right. You only believe in DNA if you're not the daddy. I get it. What are you doing? Profiling in here. Got me looking like I'm a scrub. I'm asking if the females could let me in the car. Yeah, with PCR, yo, you see how they attempted to wiggle out of that DNA question? They from the so-called 12 tribes of Israel, but you know, once I started hitting them with the would you take a DNA test to know if that's your child? You saw how Tazaryach cut in the.
I don't know that dude. I ain't know
the other dude. That was just it. I'm like, yo, damn. Do we got a location on Facebook?
Yeah, man, that's going down right there.
Hey man, calm down, brother. Hey, calm down. Take it easy. You can drive right around them. It ain't that deep. Hey, be careful, man. Be careful. Relax. All right, my brother. All right, peace. Everybody's a gangster when they drive. Yeah, yes, sir. Hey, y'all see what it is? They from the so-called 12 tribes of Israel, right? And when I say, did you take a DNA test when you joined the Israelites to find out which tribe you from? They never took a DNA test. But if a woman say that's not their child, they're going to take that you're not the father test. They're going to do the DNA test to say a child is not theirs, but they're not going to do a DNA test to tell which tribe of God they're from. Come on, that's all cap, man. You saw how they started running down on me. Niggas, it was an Israelite in help. Motherfuckers put out a smoke signal. Huh? Tomorrow. Who's that? Who's that? Okay. So yeah. Anyway, y'all guys know what it is. Y'all know what it is. That was crazy. But you see the people, man. The people just see a piece of tree and they know how to locate you. Everywhere I go, you know, people want that knowledge, man. It don't matter where we pull up at.
Is your location?
Nah, that shit was just wild. Like people like, yo, I seen you live, so I just, yo, Polight, you gonna stop that? Yo, peace to the brothers that pulled up, man. Mad love to them, man. Mad love. But that was dope. I miss that. I miss that, man.
I don't.
They delusional like a motherfucker. Niggas will not take a test for shit unless they not the baby daddy. What kind of shit is this?
Okay.
Yo, all right. Yo, I'm gonna talk to y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. That was great. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. That was great. There's so much sun and everything all over the place. I'm gonna bust this move. Don P out, as in Rolls Royce Don, even though this is the Wraith. Lambo Poe will be back at you this weekend. I am the evolution of the revolution. I'm too smart to be broke, and it costs way too much to be poor. And some people are so poor, all they got is money. Peace.